voices in my head, they counsel me, they understand, they talk to me.
Okay, it's the Viper 5567 here with yet another video. This is going to be random pay-per-view. Finally back with another random pay-per-view. This is going to be the Bash 2009. So, this was in the Jericho Center in Sacramento, California. And the last in the series of the Great American Bashes, basically, which is a bit not that disappointing. But then again, to be fair, the last two, 2008 and 2009, were pretty decent pay-per-views. Because the rest of them were utter garbage, to be fair. But, so yeah, so let's get on with it, shall we? The first match we have is the ECW Scramble, which had Tommy Dreamer, Mark as the champion, Mark Henry, Jack Swagger, Finlay, and Christian. Tommy Dreamer retained his title, which I'm delighted with, which he won that previous month on Extreme Rules, so which was actually a really good match. I must say, I actually have Extreme Rules on DVD. It was actually a pretty decent match. So this match was pretty good, a really decent opener. I gave it 3 stars, thought it was excellent. One of the better ECW title matches. Christian and Jack Swagger started off. Got rid in suplex, gets 2 for Swagger. Missile dropkick, then that gets 2 for Christian. Next in then is the Celtic Man Finlay, with the clotheslines to both men, and then a rolling senton from Finlay on Swagger. Nice uppercut then from Finlay, and then a reverse elbow from the second rope, gets 2 for Christian. And then Swagger rams Christian into the ring barrier. Swagger then rakes the eyes of Finlay, which Finlay injured, I think, a couple of weeks previous. And that gets Swagger the 3 count, so he's the current champion at the moment. So, Sunset Flip pin gets 2 for Christian. Reverse DT then gets 2 for Christian. And then a belly to belly from Jack Swagger. Next then is the ECW champion, Tommy Dreamer. Bulldog from Dreamer. Sit down powerbomb, then gets 2 for Dreamer. Dropkick then from Dreamer while Christian was on in the Tree of Woe. Finlay then rammed Swagger into the ring post, and then the Celtic Cross gets 3, so Finlay is the champion for the time being. And then the last in is obviously the world's strongest twat, Mark Henry. Henry powerbomb Swagger while Swagger had Christian in a superplex. It was fucking beautiful, an absolute beautiful move. One of the spots of the night without a shadow of it, probably the spot of the night. World's strongest landing on Dreamer, that gets the 3, so he's the champion. Inside cradle for Christian gets 2. Suicide dive from Finlay on Swagger. Christian then with a springboard plancha onto Dreamer. Swagger bomb then gets 3 on Mark Henry, so he's the champion again. Christian then gets the kill switch on Swagger, that gets 2. Dreamer then DDT gets 3 on Christian. Finlay then with a DDT on Swagger. Dreamer then holds on, he basically holds on for the win and retains the title. I must say, a better match than I was expecting. I really enjoyed it, I must say. Better match than as I was expecting. So, excuse me. So yeah, I'll give it 3 stars. Really good match, solid match, I must say. Then we see Edge talking to Teddy Long. He's not happy that he's not on the card for the night. Asked then could he be put in a triple threat match for the World Heavyweight title, and basically he said you had your chance and all this, but Edge then bitches the fact that he bet Jeff Hardy in a steel cage match that Friday on SmackDown. Teddy said, well, then Teddy kept saying no, so Edge basically said, you're going to be like my ex-wife, you're going to be out of a job. So, obviously Teddy is on probation thanks to Mr. McMahon. Right. Next match, Rey Mysterio defeats Chris Jericho in a great match to regain the WWE Intercontinental Championship. This was, if Rey lost, he'd lose his mask, basically. So we obviously knew who was going to win. Rey was never going to lose his mask. So, but still, it was a very great match, I must say. These two had some fucking epic matches throughout the summer. Like, I think they had 3 or 4 really, and they had a really great match on SmackDown. I think this was the 3rd match that they had. It was fantastic. I remember watching it, like, it was just, they just clicked together so well. Hurricane from Rey. Rey goes for a baseball slide, but Jericho grabs his legs and launches him into the ring barrier. Jericho then hangs Rey on the ropes, and then a vertical suplex gets 2. Jericho then tries to take off the mask of Rey, but Rey obviously doesn't let him. Senton then from the top from Rey, and then a backbreaker gets 2 for Jericho. Baseball slide from Jericho, and then a dropkick from Jericho, that gets 2. Another senton from Rey, this time on the outside. Crossbody gets 2 for Rey, and then a leg scissors from Rey. That's an awesome, basically a leg scissors from Rey, and then an awesome spot. Rey does the springboard and then uses the ropes for a bit of momentum to go into a, basically into a moonsault. It was absolutely probably that and basically the suplex powerbomb in the previous match, definitely giant spots in the night. Oh, it was absolutely fucking brilliant. It was absolutely brilliant. And that got 2. So that was absolutely fucking brilliant. Jericho then gets go shoulder first into the ring post. Moonsault gets 2 for Ray. Jericho then gets the walls in, but Ray gets to the ropes. Insigure from Ray, and then a powerbomb from the top gets 2 for Jericho. DT then from Ray gets 2. Codebreaker while Ray was in midair, basically that was beautiful. That gets 2. 619 then from Ray. Jericho gets the walls, and again Jericho then gets Ray's mask off, but but there's another mask on. He's done this because I think he done that in WCW against Eddie Guerrero, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, so basically another one, 619, and then Splash then gets to win. Another awesome match of the night without a shadow of a doubt. And then after that, then we see basically Monday Night Raw, Trump style. Basically, he bought the company or something. McMahon buys back Raw from Trump, which is good for him, basically. Jericho wants a rematch for the IC title, but Teddy says no, basically. So, yeah. Next match, then this is where the pay per view kind of goes down a little bit. Dolph Ziggler defeats Great Khali in a no disqualification match. Just don't care about Great Khali. Love Dolph Ziggler, but big chop from Khali, then a clothesline from him. Khali slaps his hand off the ring post. Dolph and hits Khali with a chair, and Dolph gets the famous big boot then from Khali. Then Kane comes out the ring and hits Khali a few times with a chair, and that's how Dolph gets the win. So yeah, it wasn't a great match. It was great for what it was good for what it was, basically. Like, it wasn't going to be a 5-star classic, was it really? But yeah, so a star I'd give it at most. McMahon then talks to Teddy about being on probation from last week's SmackDown. He was about to say sorry and says, "You've done nothing to make an impact. You're boring and you're still on probation." So yeah. Next match then, Legacy were supposed to take on the Colognes for the Unified Tag Titles. Teddy comes out and announces there's going to be a new team entered into the match. And Edge came out first. Everyone was convinced it was Edge and Christian. I remember even watching a couple of reviews, but it was Jericho. A lot of fans weren't that disappointed, but like, excuse me. But I wasn't disappointed. Edge and Jericho would have been a great tag team, only for the fact that Edge got injured. But Teddy finally makes an impact, basically. So obviously Legacy and Colognes don't like it, and it wasn't a great match. I gave it a star and a half. They get rid of Edge and Jericho. Clothesline from Carlito, back drop in from Primo. The leg drop from Jericho gets 2 on Ted. Drop kick then from Carlito gets 2. Nice kick to the face from Ted DiBiase. Snap suplex then from DiBiase. And then a drop kick from Cody. Roll up gets 2 for Primo. Running knee from Carlito. And then a handspring elbow from Carlito. Codebreaker on Primo. Carlito goes for the backstabber on Cody, but Edge got the tag. So obviously you can't pin him. So a spear on Carlito gets the win. So Edge and Jericho weren't really in this match for more than a minute, basically, throughout the whole match. So kind of this wasn't a great match, to be quite fair. Star and a half. After the match, Orton says to Legacy, "Don't worry about that, the most important thing is my title." Ted goes, "What, we just basically lackeys to you? Like, do you see what happened out there? So basically we're not going to be your lackeys." So Ted basically goes crazy, which was kind of cool. So yeah. Next match then, Melina, Michelle McCool defeats Melina to win the WWE Women's title. An okay, typical Divas match, basically. Wasn't great. DET from Melina, backdrop then as well. Then Michelle McCool works on the leg of Melina. Michelle rams the leg of Melina into the steps. Then a Hurricanrana from Melina. Nice big boot gets 2. The Fate Breaker gets the win. So yeah, it wasn't a bad match, but wasn't great neither. So I'll give it a star. Next match, a disappointing match really in my opinion. CM Punk, Jeff Hardy beat CM Punk by disqualification. 2.5 stars I'll give this. This match, a lot of people give this 3.5. I don't think it's that much really. But I thought it was a disappointing match. Out of the matches that they were going to have over the next couple of months or so. Basically, like, they were going to have better matches really, weren't they, to be fair. Slow way to start the match, lots of headlocks, which I'm not a big fan of. Roll up gets 2 for Jeff. Jeff gets a backdrops Punk over the top rope to the floor. Plancher from Jeff, and then Jeff rams Punk into the ring barrier. Jeff then goes for poetry in motion. But Punk move. Basically, he goes to do it via the steel steps. But Punk moves, so he lands right into the ring barrier. It looked fucking sick. Backbreaker gets 2 for Punk. Punk then misses a leg drop from I think it was from the second rope. Whisper in the Wind gets 2 for Jeff. The drop kick from Jeff gets 2, and then he gets another one, but he doesn't cover. Nice kick from Punk, and then the knee in the corner, and then the Bulldog gets 2. Nice stiff kicks from Punk. Twist of Fate then from Jeff. He goes up to do the Swanton Bomb, but unfortunately he misses it. Insecurity then gets 2 for Jeff. Another Twist of Fate, and gets the Swanton Bomb this time, and gets the 1, 2, 3. But only problem is Punk's leg is under the rope. Basically, it's outside the ring, so obviously that's out of bounds. So it's a good job the referee spotted it, because it would have been a crap way to end it. So then I think Jeff kind of elbows Punk into the eye, so Punk's holding his eye like this, and basically he kicks the referee in the back, and Jeff's face is like, oh my, like, you are a son of a bitch, basically. For like, just the face on Jeff told the story. That DQ is Punk, and Punk is still holding his eye. I think Jeff attacks him after the match. So yeah, so it was a disappointing match. Like, it could have been a whole lot better, but I'm going to give it 2.5 stars. It wasn't that great at all. People might get on to me saying it was better than that. It wasn't really that great, really, to be quite honest. Like, if you want to give it 3 stars, that's no problem at all, really, but it was my rating is 2.5, so. Next then, John the Barrier PG Cena defeats The Miz in a shit match. Worst match of the night. This match basically is a fucking burial. Like, I don't get why, and I just don't get why in God's name does John Cena. Why did they could have made this 10 times fucking better. But then it's basically a pair. It just owns Miz throughout the whole. Miz gets 4 or 5 offensive moves in. Like, he gets what, hangs Cena on the rope, snap suplex, gets 2 in a clothesline. Cena comes back with an AA, and then the STF for the win. It was basically a fucking burial match, and fuck you, John Cena. Like, it's the same at Payback. John Cena beating Bray Wyatt in a last man standing, and I quit, and an Iron Man match. They're John Cena, basically, because John Cena never quits and all this bollocks. No, I'm sick of fucking John Cena. I'm sick of WWE now. Fucking, this guy is fucking finished now. This guy has got his legacy. He's what, 14-time champion, and what his first 3 title reigns, fair enough, were long enough. They were long. To be quite fair, they were long enough. They were, to be fair. I think they were all together for nearly almost 2.5 to 3 years. So since his 3rd title reign, he's probably the longest one he's had is probably 5 months at best. So it just shows they don't have faith in John Cena to be a long champion. Like, the only reason why John Cena was a year-long champion is because everyone got injured. Triple H was supposed to win at WrestleMania 27. That was, even Triple H said that. I think Shawn Michaels even said that. So there you go. So half a star, because it was an absolute bollocks match, and fuck you, John Cena. Next match, Randy Orton defeats Triple H in a good match to retain the WWE title, and it's 3 stages of hell match. We've only had, I think it's only the 3rd time in history we've had a 3 stages of hell, but we've had a good few 2 out of 3 pinfall matches throughout the years. Now, I think the last one I can remember, was Chris Benoit versus MVP at Judgment Day. I want to say Judgment Day, or was it Backlash? I think it was Judgment. No, Backlash maybe. No, it was Yeah, I think it was Backlash. Weren't it 2 out of 3 pinfalls? It was Judgment Day. Or was it Judgment Day? It's always one of them, but still, that's the last one that I can think of. There probably was another match in between, but this is the 3rd 3-stage, and Triple H has been in all of them and won both, which was the first one was against Stone Cold Steve Austin at No Way Out 2001, and defeating Shawn Michaels then at Armageddon 2002. So we get on with it, shall we? Triple H then with the high knee, and then a clothesline. This actually match, the first 2 falls go really fucking quickly. I just don't get that. I'm going to say it now in a minute. Triple H rams Orton into the ring post. Triple H then with a suplex gets 2. Orton then works the leg of the game. Orton then rams the leg of Triple H into the ring post. Spinebuster from the game. Orton then with a backbreaker. Then Triple H then comes in with a chair, hits Orton with it, and that gets him DQ. Fair enough, the first fall was a standard wrestling match. Second fall was Falls Count Anywhere. It does make sense, but at the end of the day, the Falls Count Anywhere match could have lasted a little bit longer. First fall, so Triple H then hits Orton then with the skull with the chair, and then keeps hitting him with it. Then he hits a pedigree on the floor, and that gets the second fall. So basically, I think for the best part of 15 minutes or 16 minutes, the last fall was a stretcher match. Like, I'm not the biggest fan on stretcher matches. Like, really, to be fair, most of the stretcher matches that have been in WWE history have been pretty damn poor. Like, I think Michaels and Batista wasn't too bad, but they're just not great. I think what Daniel Bryan's supposed to be taking on Kane in a stretcher match, that's not going to be good. Guarantee it. But we'll get on with that in another video. Orton then lands Triple H balls first on the barrier. Orton and Triple H fly into the crowd. Triple H then with a clothesline that sends Orton back into ringside. They fought a good bit into the crowd. The crowd fucking huffed it like it was okay, to be fair. Triple H hits Orton with the steps. Orton then backdrops Triple H onto the stretcher. Orton then with a boot to the face. Triple H then with a pedigree on the stage. They're basically flying up by the entrance up on the stage. Triple H basically is about to put has Orton on the stretcher. He's literally that much away from the line, and Cody stops him basically, and then basically Ted and Cody attack him, but Triple H gets rid of him. Orton goes low on Triple H. I think he pushes him onto the stretcher and then wheels him over the line for the win. So I think Triple H had a sledgehammer at one stage to hit both Cody and Ted, I think, and then after the match then Orton gets hit in the head with the sledgehammer. So overall it was a good match. Like, wasn't anything special, to be quite honest. I gave it 3 3/4 stars. It wasn't anything really that great, really, to be quite honest, but it was better than most of their match at WrestleMania anyway. So this is my review of the Bash. I'm going to give it just about 7 out of 10, just about, because of the 2 opening matches and the main event. The world title match, if they had to go on, maybe if they got another 1.5 stars, was 3.5. This could have been maybe one other match was better. This could have easily been a 7.5, maybe 7.75, but yeah. So yeah, this was the Vibe before 567. Please subscribe, like, comment, and I will talk to you guys in the next video. So take it easy, guys.